Hi folks, I'm Stephen Croney, thanks for joining me again. Now today I've had a go at I took this photograph last Saturday or Sunday in Sutton Park. Quite a bright day, but no, what I wanted some foreground shadows just to really make the light more dramatic, so I've incorporated those into the painting. I'll show you why I did all that in a moment. Let me show you the colours I've used first. So I've used all 7 colours from this one today. So we had ultramarine, lemon yellow, Payne's grey, alizarin crimson, raw sienna, burnt umber and light red. Brushes, large on Ranson Ake, little flat brush to fine tune the tones, and then a couple of rigger brushes, a 0 and a number 3. Just like to show you my new book. This is Painting Loose Landscapes in Watercolour by myself. Just loads of, there's about 8 chapters in there full of 8 or 9 paintings in there, just broken down into step-by-step photographs to guide you through each one. That's available on Amazon. You'll see all the links in the description. Right, let's throw a bit of water on it just to kick it off, and then just slap a bit of colour on. Don't worry about it too much, just bash it in, anywhere will do. A bit of alizarin in there, and then switch down to the blue. Bit of Payne's grey in there as well, make it a bit more moody. Whack a bit of that in there. Right then, I'll tell you what I forgot. I've got my tissues. Sorry, I'll just use the brush. I'll use the brush to take out the clouds. I've just got to dry it on there, and then just swish it around like that. Don't be scared of it, just bash it in. Right then, distant trees. So I'm going to mix the same colours I've just done, and then start the trees somewhere about there, and then just get some random shapes and things. Some big ones over there. Bring them down. Something like that. Let's get a little rigger brush in there. If I put a bit of colour on the rigger brush, I can just flick in a few little extra details and things. A few there, a few up there. The trees are actually there's some slightly darker ones there, isn't there? Just make them slightly darker. Whoops, that's a little bit darker than I was intending. That's what happens when you faff around with the brushes. If I just get me rigger and just bang some more of them in. Soften the bottom of them. Make a nice, sort of like a little misty effect, I suppose it could be. Hang on, I'm going to have to get that tissue. I just paused it a second. I just ran and got some kitchen roll. Now I'm just going to soak up a bit of that. Right then. Not too much. The paper's already wet, so I don't want much water on the brush. Just bashing a bit of colour. Take a bit of red as well, brighten that in. Going to come down something like that. So as usual, I'm just using the photo as a guide really. I'm not copying it as such, it's just an impression. I'm just trying to create something atmospheric. So if I get a bit of paint on this brush, and then this wants to be a little bit darker. So we've got some just coming out of there and just going right up there. There's another one over there. But really, you can just stick them wherever you want. I'm going to stick another one over there. So I've got one a little bit taller. Don't leave it in the water jar like I do. Now that path's coming down there like that. Now I want to go a little bit closer. Now we got some bit of grass over there, so let's take a bit of lemon yellow. Lemon yellow over there, a bit of raw sienna as well. Down the bottom. Just scuff it about as well. Just want that a little bit darker, just so it contrasts nicely against that background there. Just gives it a bit more oomph. A few things. Things down there as well. Don't know what these are, but it's all about creating textures. I look at so many paintings and I look at mine and think, just need a bit more texture in there. So I'm whizzing my way around the palette. Also just focusing on colour as well. I'm putting a lot more colour than I can see in the reference. Don't be worried, don't be scared of it, just, you know what I mean, if you want to do it, just do it. Just because it's not in the photograph doesn't mean to say you can't do it. Let's clean the brush again. I'm just gonna pull a bit of that colour, just soften those edges off a little bit. Just bring it out into the path area. Something like that. Now, time to work on the other side now, about over on the left. So if I just start off with a few trees, not trees, bushes, let's whack them in first. They go in, they're sort of level with them up there like that. A bit of brown in there as well. And then on top of those, we've got a whole mass of trees in the distance. Well, not in the distance, they're sort of at the same level as these. And if I just pop a few in, just to get the thing started. That's sort of up there. Just like that, pretend that didn't happen. And when there's not much paint on the brush, I can just go a bit wild with it. It's a very light touch for those thin twigs and branches, and then just press down a little bit harder when you want to Pop in a trunk. So I've got a sort of whole mass of twigs and things. I'll just actually, that's too wet. If I just dry that slightly. And just take a bit of anything really, just generally dark. Bit of burnt umber, bit of ultramarine. Just sort of dry brush that on a bit. Now then, coming down a little bit lower. Down to about there. And it's just match those tones a little bit. It's a little bit light on this side. That'll do. Let's clean the brush. We've got a bit of grass now on this left hand side, so I'm just going to pop that in. Sort of somewhere down there-ish. And then we're back into these things. A load of grasses and things. Just bring some of that colour out. Take most of that paint off there. We'll sort of come in there like that. We've got a path. What I'm going to do, give that a quick dry. Just make sure it's flat first. Just pull it taut. Let's just pop a few more twigs and things in. Just very, very light, barely touching the paper. Just marking out the edges of this path, sort of just very, very roughly giving it some sort of direction. Bit of red over there as well. And then sometimes I use this brush as well. Little flat brush here. Just to add a few little darker tones here and there when I want them. I might just want a little bit down there. Straight away if it's too much. Just a different shape. Right, I think it's time for some shadows, I think. That's just after I've put a few more little hairs in it. Hairs, grasses. Few down there, some over there. Right in. Quick dry. Right then, back to the 8 brush, most of the water out of it, and then I'm going to take a bit of brown, red, blue, mix all those together, so sort of bluey grey. Something like that. Now there's no real shadows in the photo, so I'm going to have to make them up. So I'm going to have something coming straight across there like that. Just cutting across there as well. Very quick dry. I thought I could see a little figure then in the photo, but I don't think I can. So, but there's one going in anyway. So, I'm just going to have a little figure. Just sort of. Trudging his way. Little dog in front. A little shadow. I'm going to call that one finished, I think. I'm going to stick a little bird up there as well. So 3 little birds. I'm just going to sign it down now and call this one finished. So let's stick a mount on that and see how it compares to the photograph. So we've got the finished painting, and you can see the reference I was working from. So I've kept the composition. Actually, if we just get the both in the same shot, you can see I've kept the composition fairly same, but just changed around, just played around with the tones and the shadows, and I think tried to create a much better, more interesting painting than the reference photograph, which I think is the aim every single time. You can see. First thing is there's no foreground shadows. I think that was something I definitely wanted to incorporate. So last thing I did was just whack these shadows in, which really helps bring the light into the painting. The rest of the elements kept the same, but just played with the tonal values and colours a bit more. I used pretty much every colour on the palette. So you can see the sky. Just started off with a nice simple sky, and then you can just about see the background trees, put them in very, very light toned, just so they sort of soften off into the distance, and then coming forward the stronger tones then, just to help to create that depth. Plenty of rigger work here, and then just adjusted the tonal range and values at the end with the little flat brush. And then same on the other side, got all these bushes here, some in deep shadow, and then a bit of rigger work up the top, dry brushed a bit of the foliage on, and then shadow sort of starting sort of out of shot, imagine some trees or something out of shot here on the left, and then cutting straight across the path itself, which just leads up and around the bend to our little man walking his dog. So kept the layout all the same, but just tried to improve it, make it more atmospheric. So I'll post all these reference photos and videos and whatnot. It'll all be on my Patreon page if you just want to be able to, so you can just study the two, study and compare the photos and whatnot. So that'll be over at patreon.com/Stephen Cronin with loads of other, about another 250 videos, plus photo tutorials I've started putting on, loads over there for you to have a go at if you want to subscribe and join me over there. Post your own paintings as well. So that's at patreon.com/Stephen Cronin. So don't forget you got all the books on Amazon, this painting I'll be on eBay. All the links will be in the description. So until next time, keep practicing. If you've got any questions, please ask, and I'll see you again soon.